Hello, I'm Skullbogey here with the Star Killer, George Staines, ahead of an upcoming fight at OKTAGON 71 against Hafeni Nafuka. How are you doing today?
I'm very good, mate. Thank you. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. And how are you feeling ahead of the upcoming fight?
Very confident. Yeah, very confident. It's a fight I wanted, obviously. He's a fairly big name in Octagon, and we'll get a lot of eyes on me. And like I say, the camp's gone very well. Feeling super, super confident.
Exactly. And did it make it any easier knowing that you're coming to this card with not only being the only Englishman, you're having Shem, who does obviously train with you guys at Next Gen. I know you have Dennis, who you've competed against before, also on that card. Does that just make it just a little bit easier going into the fight week?
So, especially having a teammate on, yeah, it does make it not easier, but like it means it's a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Um, you've got a friend, and someone that you see every day, train with every day, do a lot of hard rounds with, and like you say, it does make it a lot more enjoyable. Like which does like make it seem easier, but it's just nice that like you have your coaches there anyway, so it's half enjoyable anyway and easier. But
And
obviously, having an extra teammate does make it a lot nicer. Yeah.
and it does make it just the weight cut part just a little bit easier. Because I'm guessing, will you guys be weight cutting separately or will you be trying to do that process together?
Uh, I think we're doing it together, especially in the morning before the weigh-in. We're definitely
Yeah.
doing it together. I'm not sure about on the night, but on the morning, we're definitely doing it together.
And does that make it just slightly easier, just knowing that you're not the only one getting put through this?
Yeah, it definitely does. Especially like whenever I have done a workout with someone else, it has made it like a lot easier. It's just like again, you're almost like pushing each other through it. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not just you on your own. You're doing it with someone else who's being put through the same amount of torture.
And what is it about this your opponent's game that you really feel like you can pinpoint that capture moment?
um, if I'm being honest, everywhere. Like, if he thinks he's a better grappler than me, then yeah, he can think that. But I don't think obviously I know people know me for being a grappler, but like I think a lot of people don't think I'm particularly strong or for some reason that good when it comes to the floor because again of me build, I'm quite tall, I'm quite lanky. I think people very really do underestimate like how strong and how good I am when it comes to the floor. But again, like as you say, you talk about like Shem, the actual roster of fighters we've got at next gen that are lightweights as
Yeah.
well. You've got Paddy, Cullen, Shem, Chris Price, Yusuf. You know, we've got a lot of high level guys that are all around the same weight, and we properly do push each other. And again, we're all elite level grapplers. Like again, you don't even have to look at fighters in the gym. Look at how many black belts, how many high level brown belts, purple belts we've got. Some of the amateurs, I reckon, are like are on the similar level of grappling to him. Do you know what I mean? Because of
Yeah.
how high level it is.
And you kind of touched on it just a little bit there with next gen and the lightweight division, but not even lightweight, just your whole gym. I know everyone's going to say our gym's on the rise, but it is now being shown. Yeah, Paddy just beating Michael Chandler. Cullen did his thing. I heard he's got a fight booked to come in the next Manchester card, but you
Yeah.
have him in that. You have you doing and Shem doing your thing in Octagon. You're just everywhere and you're just getting wins just now. What has been the key to your success?
Um, I think the way we train is a lot different to like a lot of the whole world train. We train MMA, whereas a lot of gyms, people we say it all the time. A lot of them just train the individual martial arts. We
Yeah.
train MMA. When we fight MMA, it's like second nature to us. We're doing striking in the morning, but it's not striking; it's MMA striking. So we do it to suit our own styles. Whether like you're a guy like Luke Riley, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's never gonna look for a takedown in the fight, is he? But if you're a guy like me who's primarily a grappler, do you know that's what like we it's not tailored, but like we get told to like make it our own, so we can like add in some shots. So obviously not completing them, but just like adding them in. We train for what we're gonna do, and I think with the way I think we're some of the best game planners, out there. Like you
Yeah.
saw it with annihilated Chandler, and like for you, Chandler's an animal. Do you know what I mean? Like he was ranked 7, fought for the title. Fight fought the best of the division. You can't
I
say he's
like
fought, but you can't say that.
Yeah, I like you bringing up that Luke Riley example because a lot of people heading into that last fight would be like, yeah, Luke Riley should win, but this is going to be his toughest test facing that wrestler, and
Yeah,
he showed that was game plan going into that fight was I'm just going to take you down. Luke Riley was able to snuff that and got the finish in that second round. Do you
yeah,
think that is him not even needing the contender series? That's him cemented his place in that UFC.
yeah, 100%. I don't like what his fight before that got a very the knockout he got was
Yeah,
it was sick. Obviously that knockout was well, he literally he had an answer for everything that his opponent threw at him, and then his
yeah,
opponent obviously he got the finish, but it looked like he gave up. Do you know what I mean? It was just like they found the easier way out, and Luke just
yeah.
put it on him, finished him. And again, Luke's a performer, and he's a highlight reel specialist. Like any fight Luke's in, it's exciting. Like look at his fight with Loof. Like
Yeah.
fight is here for a reason.
And I think the thing about Liverpool Next Gen as well is you all just turn out for your fighters, no matter what happens. With even just not even just the big guys like Luke Riley, it's down in all the cars like Fran Breen, Paddy, Molly, and that Shem. They were out there supporting him even when he was the first fight of the night. So it doesn't matter who you guys are, how big you are, how small you are, where your last fight, first fight, you are going to be there celebrating with your teammates.
Yeah, Paddy always says it on his vlogs and everything. It's like a family. Do you know? Obviously, I'm a bit
Yeah,
newer to the team, but like I say, the way I've been brought in, it does feel like the gym is a proper family. Everyone's there for each other. Do you know what I mean? One person gets
yeah.
picked on, do you know, everyone else stands up. And every like again, was so technical, and I think that's another reason why the gym does so well. Again, like everyone just wants what's best for everyone, and everyone will always be there to support. Like everyone sharing each other's stuff on Instagram, social media, spreading the word. You know, I think that's what does make the gym so special as well.
And how would it feel to you if one Octagon could now seem like there is a slight possibility we could get that in the future coming back to the UK? You obviously have Shem, you, Dennis, Will, who is the light heavyweight and the heavyweight champion.
Yeah,
It's just a lot of seamless talent is now coming from the UK.
yeah, it'd be great for them to come back to the UK. Obviously, the more I can fight in the UK, the better because I get to just chill at home pretty much. You know,
Yeah,
not flying, no nothing. It makes it a lot easier. But in the same breath, like I have enjoyed the traveling aspect. You know, getting to see different parts of the
yeah,
world. Like Brunei, I never didn't before I fought in Brunei. I didn't even know it was a place. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
the fact that I go to places I never would have gone is I really enjoy that aspect as well. But again, fighting at home is also very special because again, you get a lot more of your home crowd people coming. Do you know what I mean? Like Manchester, I had hundreds of people there to support me. Um, Whereas obviously when I'm abroad, I get a bit less. I think I've got like 20, 25 people come to watch me from home, which is quite a lot
Yeah.
considering in Germany, which so that's quite nice. Um, but again, if Octagon did come back to the UK again, like you say, with Will being the champ, it probably be Ireland that did. But again, I'd
Yeah.
fight in Ireland. Well, it's only across the water, isn't it?
And with Octagon, they do give you the prospect of fighting in a stadium. That
Yeah,
is what is massive nowadays.
yeah,
Now, Octagon, you could maybe sign Paddy for a one fight deal, get it in Anfield. How would that
uh,
be for you?
but Paddy's if the UFC did Anfield, yeah. But obviously Octagon, Paddy
Yeah.
won't leave. Paddy won't leave for Octagon. Like again for most people, it is everyone wants to be in the UFC, don't they?
Yeah.
Do you know? It's the end goal. Unless you're a bit more like orientated to that one style, or maybe like the PFL tournament style. But again, forever since I've started MMA, my dream's always been the UFC. That's always been my end goal, you know. And like, while Octagon's good for me now, again, the future is always going to be looking towards getting to that UFC
Yeah.
level. Again, I know I'm quite far off it. Do you know what I mean? My record's not too built up yet. Um, so while like again for like this stage of my career, I think that's what Octagon's really good for.
Yeah, and do you feel like Octagon is now in that position where it can start to levigate to be that number two rank promotion compared to the UFC? That was used to be PFL. However, there now is some talk against the PFL with their champions coming out there and dissing them online because not being active. Their
Yeah.
tournaments went from 1 million to 500,000. Do you feel
Mm.
like that is now allowing other organizations to come in?
I think the PFL going to 500,000, it shows that they are quite not maybe not struggling, but like the financial side
Yeah,
isn't doing so well. Again, it's a huge tell in it. Do you know what I mean? They've half the pace.
yeah,
Uh, I think Octagon will always be big in Europe. I don't think they'll really venture out of Europe because the competition's too stiff. I think they'll always have quite a good what's the word like capital, what something like that in like Eastern Europe, especially like your Czech country, Slovakia,
yeah.
Czech
The European
Republic.
base.
Yeah, I think they'll always be big there because, like I said, I've been to a couple of their shows in like Bratislava, and it's sold out every time.
Yeah.
Um, I think again they'll always, especially in for them Eastern European countries, they'll always be like maybe the second promotion to the UFC for them.
I remember you talking about it slightly last time, is that with MMA in these European countries, it's more of a day out with like the family more than with
Yeah,
here in the UK where it is your friends to come here, you get have a few beers and then you see your mates and then you leave. It is really here for the full card. How is that? How do you feel like the balance is from the UK to the European fans?
so like you say, like for me, like what you say when we for like when I experience like say again cage warriors for example, for like the gym it's a little bit different because again we get a lot of people coming from the gym like you say the main
Yeah,
fighters and then again a lot of the people just coming during the day and some of the amateurs they we all stay so we all get like they all get seem to get they all get like a big crowd reaction. You know what I mean? It's all always quite full if what's the next gen lads are on. But other than that, it does seem quite quiet. Um, but then, like you say, in them Eastern Europe, in them Octagon's cards, the cards are full, like from the free prelim fight to the main event. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
And you know you could tell that when Octagon came to the UK. Like again, it's ticket sales, so it doesn't really matter. Do you know what I mean? Tickets are tickets. You know,
yeah.
so Octagon won't really care, but it looks better when it's a sold house around the arena. Do you know what I mean? It looks well better.
And what event has it been, would you say, has been the best event for you so far?
I'd say the Manchester card, the when I fought Dennis, because
Yeah,
again when I fought in Brno, it was sold out and it was an amazing atmosphere, but the AO Arena was just like wow. Before the co-op, I think it was the biggest arena in the UK. I think I am correct by saying that.
yeah,
Like, I don't think it was sold out, but again, the atmosphere was just amazing. Do you know what I mean? And it was a very, especially being like my first proper pro outing. It was just an amazing experience, and the reactions afterwards and everything. It was that was my personal favorite.
And I remember you saying earlier on here that your record isn't really that padded out yet. However, it is an incredible record that you have been able to accumulate. I think it's like five fights, 5 wins, and that's not including your amateur career where you were
Yeah,
able to go 16-1 with doing the IMAFs. How
yeah.
big was that IMAF experience, do you feel like it has been for your career?
I feel like, especially with me starting professionally with Octagon, I feel
Yeah,
like it was very, very helpful because of the fact, obviously, fighting abroad. Or like
yeah,
it's when the challenge series that was all abroad, so I was used to cutting weight abroad. Like maybe like obviously finding the foods that would be good for me. Obviously, I fought in Italy and Serbia in the IMAFs. Obviously, they are different countries, but again, you have to like get a gist of like food. Like some of the countries eat similar, so like you have to like get used to like again as well like what you need to take to cut your weight properly. The stuff that you need for
yeah,
training, all that stuff. And I think it did really like took me out of my comfort zone, especially with like so like I'm very like I like to do the same thing before a fight, like very like
yeah,
ritualistic or whatever it is. But then when I did the IMAF, I was like, right, I can't do this now. Do you know what I mean? I've got to adapt. And like except like after I weigh in, I love going for a Nando's. Like my like refuel meal would be like a Nando's, and it over in like Germany, Czech, Slovakia, they don't have Nando's. So again, you kind of
yeah.
got to like adjust, you know. And that was one thing that really helped me was the eye mask because again, I couldn't do what I would love, like I like to do after my fights, and it really did teach me some valuable lessons.
So I'm guessing once you get that victory, the first thing when you get back home is go get that Nando's.
Yeah, probably. When I come back home on a Sunday, I'll probably be in Ando's. Yeah,
It'll just be the first one booked in, rent
yeah,
the whole place out. George sits in
yeah.
every seat, ordering everything on the menu. Just get
Everything.
it.
Them halloumi sticks, them pita breads, the butterfly chicken, the Fino pittas. Give me them all.
And not only is it because you've just won, but it's because you've also had that massive weight loss from that weight
Yeah.
cut. You're just going to be hungry. What is your go-to after the weight cut?
What you say? Sorry, mate.
So after you've done the weight cut, what is your go-to food after that? Because I know after it you do have to recover, and there is
Yeah.
certain things you have to gradually get back into.
So like obviously like when I first recover, like when I first like thinking I'll have like just like a couple of liters of water with some like electrolytes and some like
Yeah,
carbohydrates like fuel. But like again, UK it'd be a Nando's. I'd have like so I'll do the UK and abroad. So like UK I'd have like so like starter I'd probably get some like halloumi fries for a little starter. Then for a main I'd probably get the Fino pita with a side of the sweet potato fries. I love sweet potato. And then I'd get like maybe a portion of rice with it as well. And then a big bowl of cereal afterwards. And then check like a broad. I'll just look for any like Italian gaps that do like a pasta dish. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? Again, it's for wherever you go in the world, you're probably going to find a place that sells pasta. It's a very
yeah.
um, worldwide dish in it. You know, especially Italian. Like Italian food's one of the best in it, really. So I'll probably get like a pasta, some garlic bread, some a bit of coke, and then again a big bowl of cereal on the night.
And then last year you were able to go 2-0, I think it was in 2024. What are you looking for in 2025? How many fights or anything you're wanting to achieve?
I've obviously like I've been a bit inactive this year, not to anything against like not because I wanted to be inactive. I
Yeah,
was really active this year. Again, I've had multiple fighters turn me down, which has been a bit frustrating. But I still want to have four this year. Do you know what I mean? I'm looking to be super active this year, get me out as many times as I can because after a fight, I'm never really injured. Obviously, touch wood, nothing happens. Like don't break anything, so I can get back out there quickly. But again, I never get too big. My weight never gets too heavy, so I can cut weight pretty quickly. Um, yeah, I want to be super active this year. So what am I 5-0? I want to get to 9-0 by the end of the year, ideally. Obviously, everything goes well.
yeah. And that was kind of like the same issue with Shem, because I remember hearing an interview not long ago. He's like, I just want to fight.
Yeah,
I'm putting these offers out there, I'm getting these offers, but the other fighter isn't accepting it. Do you
yeah.
feel like that is the main stumbling block for you guys at not only just you personally, but like next gen is people know the gym and are scared to fight you guys from the gym?
Yeah, me and Shem was actually talking about it the other day, ironically. He was saying, he said to me, bro, that when people hear you've trained with Paddy and us, you know, at next gen, people get scared, just will turn you down. I'm just like, yeah, but it shouldn't be about that. It should just be my skill
Yeah.
against yours. It's not about the gyms. It's like, but people are scared. Do you know what I mean? Like again, for my last fight, I wanted to fight on the 8th of March when Dennis fought. I got given Topolai. He turned me down. Um, Robin Frank got offered me, turned me down. Dennis smashed him anyway, so imagine what happened if he fought me. um, and then I got given a couple of the guys' names who also turned me down. Like I've said yes to everyone I've ever been given. Do you know what I mean?
And I
It's
feel
frustrating, like when people turn you down and get prioritized to fight.
Yeah, and I feel like with MMA in particular, it's not like a sport like boxing where that one fight does make a lot of impact in your stock. You can just take that loss and just learn from it and get
Yeah,
back to where it was. We're talking about your opponent just now. We're talking about how great he is, how strong he is. He's a tough competitor. He's got two losses as well. So that these losses don't define your career as much as other sports. Just take the fight, learn. If you do lose, learn from the experience.
Yeah, but I 100% agree. Like McGregor said when he was on his rise, you know what I mean? You win or learn. There's
Yeah,
no losing in MMA. Obviously, like it's demoralizing and it's thingy, but you learn from your mistakes, and again, you come back just twice as strong. That's when I lost the IMAF. That was one of the biggest things. I learned a lot from that one loss, more than I ever would, because from a win. Because at the arm, when I was doing the arm, I was like, I am the boy. You know, I can't be beat. If I
yeah.
step in the cage, I'm gonna beat everyone. You know, that was my mindset. I was like, for that semi-final fight, I was just like, right, just cruise through this. Don't burn as much energy. Save myself for the final, which is really the complete wrong mindset. I should be like, I'm gonna smash this kid, put up, show the rest of the division who I am. Go make the kid in the final scared. It's just one of them, innit? You know, you learn a lot from stuff like that. And again, that has made me the fighter I am today. So I'm very, very grateful for that. And again, it'd have been great, you know, 18 and 0, world champion, turn to pro. But again, I feel like being 16, that having that one loss really did shift my career in a positive way.
Yeah, exactly. Kyle puts takes that undefeated streak that does tell make you realize, hold on a minute, I can be beaten. Let's just slow
Yeah,
down and just watch what's happening.
it really humbles you. And
Yeah,
even like the way I was like maybe training, like again, I wouldn't like source outside sparring. Do you know what I mean? I just spar in my gym. Whereas when I've like obviously started to travel to like again when before I moved to next gen, I was sparring here a bit, and then I'd like spar. I'd be like, freaking hell, the level there's a whole another level to reach. You know what I mean? I'm sparring like again, like so Cullen, Paddy, Luke, Shem. You know, I'm just like there's a whole other level I can reach here, and that's one of the reasons why I moved. And again, that loss really put it in perspective that I need to get better.
and yes, you are wanting to be, it is your own abilities. You want to stay the same gym the full journey, but you have to do realize that some these gyms like Liverpool Next Gen, they just have that equipment, they have the
Yeah.
coaches, they have that just even the experienced fighters to
But
be able to
like,
get you to that next level.
I think now, like maybe back in, not maybe back in the day, but like maybe going back 4 or 5 years, 6 years, maybe. Like you maybe could have been like the best in you know, like a big fish in a small pond. Like,
Yeah,
but now I feel like the level of MMA has gotten so high. You need to be in them gyms with other bodies, like similar levels to you, to push you, just to push each other. Like you're seeing it more and more. Like gyms are coming through instead of fighters. Like fighting nerds is a great example. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? Look, well, I know Carlos Pratt's lost on the weekend, but again, it's gyms like Killcliff,
American
Extreme.
Top Team.
Oh, do you know there's so many like next gen. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, in my opinion, next gen is the best gym in the world, and we're proving it.
and
Like again,
it is. I remember seeing that you are still only you're still relatively young in the sport. You're
yeah,
only 24 just now. You're 25 in September,
yeah,
and you're 5-0, going to be 6-0 after this weekend, and a 16-1 amateur career. You're really young in the sport. You've got bags of potential, so you do have that space where you can just take it a bit of time. You don't need to
yeah.
rush everything. You don't like. You need to get to UFC in by the end of next year.
Oh yeah, 100%. I know I can take my time, like you say. I'm very young to the sport. Like I want a very long career. I want to be retiring like 35, so 10 years, 11 years. Do you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
really want because I've barely taken any damage throughout me. I take more damage in camp than I do in the fights, which is a good thing, really. It makes you adjust and be better. But like I say, I want to retire not late. I don't want to be like 40, but like mid 30s would be a nice age to retire. You know, prove myself as the best ever. Have the title, retire, have me money. You know, nice career, then retire. Have start my family, but probably start investing more into my family.
Now, it was posted on social media today. Tom Aspinall went duck hunting. Do you feel like do you feel like John Jones is ducking Tom Aspinall?
I know John Jones will fight anyone, but I think he's ducking him till the time is right for him, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like John's very smart, and he knows what the world's thinking of him, and I think he's just like, right, I'm fighting the biggest test of my career. Like people will be dumb to think that John Jones isn't getting ready now for
Yeah,
Tom. He'll be training for Tom. Do you know what I mean? There's no way he isn't fighting Tom at some point. Like that fight has to happen. Like it's ridiculous how long it's been going on. Do you know, Tom Aspinall's the longest reigning interim champ at what? Like I
yeah,
saw it was 456 days or something like that
yeah.
for an interim champ is ridiculous. So I do think he's ducking him, but not the way I think everyone else is thinking. I think he's just buying his time.
I know people saw that interview with TNA Sport, no TNT Sports, and they're
Yeah,
like, "Oh, but it's just that promotion, like you're saying, it's the promotional. It's trying to get more eyes to that fight. It's
yeah.
building that up. He's not wanting to do these interviews. They're biased. I'm the best. That's kind of what he's doing. He's just trying to build that fight up so it is the biggest pay-per-view fight of all time.
It's becoming a bit like Khabib and Tony.
Yeah,
Like that never happened due to injuries and that. But again, it's been built up and built up, and that's what like almost like heavyweight boxing did really well. Like the build up fights, don't they? And again, it
yeah,
sells super well. Whereas like heavyweight MMA, again, not really well known until like John Jones really became it, and especially in the UK, like you'd hear more like your smaller weights names, like McGregor, Khabib, they're the popular weight divisions. Whereas heavyweight, Brock Lesnar maybe brought a bit of life back into it, but again, it was like maybe not because it's less skillful in it. Like the
yeah.
higher the weights get, the less skill it becomes. But obviously, I'd say Tom and John are the exceptions to that. That's why it's such an interesting fight because they are truly skillful. Not saying that heavyweights aren't, but again, they can use power where not the lighter weights don't have that power.
I think because it's taken so long, that fight's not going to be in Vegas, has to be in the O2.
Yeah, yeah, it has to be in Tom's. It like Tom's the champ. He's defended his belt. As John's just as he defended it once.
Yes, DP.
So Tom and John have both defended it equal amounts of time. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, and Tom's actually been more active than John.
And I think
You know?
that's what some people are saying is the fact that he, Tom has fought against Blades and they beat
Yeah,
Blades, whereas if you look at John Jones's record in that heavyweight division, all he's done is fight a 40-year-old firefighter. Is
yeah,
what in the history books is what yes, Stipe is one of the greatest one of the greatest heavyweight fighters, but he was out of the sport for 2 years. He hadn't done really anything. He was focusing on his fireman career, and he gets it.
yeah. It's a bit. That was a legacy fight, wasn't it? It was a
Yeah.
legacy fight. Everyone knows it. I beat the best ever heavyweight, and what? He had 2 years out. Was half thinking about retirement anyway. I'm sure Steve Baylor got a nice little paycheck for that. So will John. But I think everyone knew the outcome of that. I wanted Stipe. I'm a massive Stipe fan. But I thought it was going to lose. John Jones is just a different animal, isn't he? But again,
Yeah.
Tom's a young, hungry animal.
Yeah.
That's why. No, that's not why I think he can beat him. But again, I think John Jones struggles with speed, and I think that's where Tom's going to get him.
And I know you're going to say Paddy. So apart from Paddy, who should be fighting for that lightweight title next?
Yeah, like it's very interesting, obviously, because depends what's going to happen with the weekend, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So obviously, if JDM wins, Islam's going to go up, isn't he?
Yeah.
But obviously, if Bilal wins, it's probably either going to be Islam versus Arman or Oliveira.
So you
I
don't
can't.
think Ilya gets in there?
I think if Bilal loses and Islam goes up, I think then it'll be Ilya versus Arman or Ilya versus Oliveira. I think Oliveira and Ilya would be a bigger fight. But
Well,
obviously, the two of the biggest stars in the USA, aren't they?
yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like Paddy would be great to coming in there, but
Yeah. Well, I think they could do Paddy as like the short notice. Do you know what I mean? Make
yeah.
weight, get paid to not even fight. But I know obviously Paddy's one of them. He just wants to fight. He doesn't want to make weight. He wants to fight.
Well,
Um, but again, like if Ilya does become the champion, there's your storyline right there. Do you know,
Yeah.
former like rivals from years ago. When was it that fucking? It was like 3 years ago that won it when like
Yeah, it was
Ilya
UFC
died.
London. It was
Uh,
the hand sanitizer.
yeah, hand sanitizer boy. um,
Well, well, make sure you tune into Octagon 7, I think 71, to make sure you see George get that victory, get another stoppage, and move up those lightweight rankings.
hundred
Thank you for
percent.
coming on. Is there anything you're wanting to add or anyone you're wanting to shout out?
Just thanks all. Obviously, my gym, next gen, all coaches, Ellis, Rimmer, Ven, all of my teammates, all my sponsors. Let me think of them all. C3 Group, Firmwise, Galazi Corporate. Um, I can't think of any of the other ones, but thank you anyway to everyone.
You know who you are,
Yeah,
and
yeah, thank you.
well,
It's just
thank you
hard
for
to keep
coming.
something, mate.
Well, thank you for coming on.